It's kind of funny to see how some things were just left behind like that amongst the new trees here. You can find those devices pretty regularly here in the area. I don't know if they're trying to catch some mice here or what they're used for. And then here and there you still have a few cables sticking out of the ground. So right now I'm pretty close to the Autobahn here, to the A5, which passed the base and sort of divided the base from the recreation area. This is, you can see this in the background there, that's the pedestrian bridge crossing the A5. And I assume that's the place where many good barbecues happened, and you know, a lot of people get together for food and drink and fun. And now that's a very rare occasion here to see an aircraft come in during COVID-19. Has been so quiet, it's amazing. I almost think I don't live close to an airport anymore. And I think it's important to imagine none of those young trees which you can see here in the background used to be here while the base was still in operations until 2005. So that's all new. But I guess those old trees here, oak trees, could tell quite a bit of stories. This is a totally new settlement of pine trees in German called Kiefer. Yeah, so now you know where Kiefer Sutherland got his name from. They're completely new. So now I'm going to take you from the entrance, which is still closed, by the way. They took all the other fences off around the area just in the last few weeks or maybe a few months. And I'm going to take you around here to the area where the buildings used to be, where the main building, the barn, used to be. There's one big oak tree left. You may still recognize it. It used to be right in front of the building. So if you go straight, this used to be a concrete driveway, just like the one here. Here the driveway divides. We're gonna go north. And this, at least to me, is the most spectacular part. This is a completely new settlement of oak trees, still fairly young. You can still see the big oak tree in the background. Right behind that, you have to imagine the barn. And we'll walk a little closer to the oak tree and see there's a big branch that came off just recently because we had a few very dry summers in Germany, which didn't do very well for all the trees here. I'm pretty happy that aircraft came in because it gives you, I think, a good sense of where you are right now and how close we are to the runway, to 25L, I believe. There's really not much left here on the former recreation area property, and just a piece here and there, piece of rock, piece of stone. Now this is where the road or driveway circled back and came back towards the barn, which was over there. So we're now looking from the northeastern corner of the area towards the Autobahn and the airport in the background. Piece of concrete stone that was left here. I'm now at the northern end of the property, and I'm looking towards the south, pretty much parallel to the Autobahn, which is here on the right hand side. You can see the traffic sign over there. So here on the right hand side of that massive and beautiful oak tree, this is where the barn used to be. So this is the big oak tree. You can see the right branch broke off. I think that happened a few months ago, basically from somewhere between summer 2020 and today it's the 28th of December 2020. I'm just gonna give you a 360-degree view of the area now. Nothing left, you know, it's such a historic area, such a historic place, and not a sign, nothing, you know, not a single piece left here. It's very sad. This is a good view. You can see the traffic sign there above the Autobahn, and then you can see the airport here in the background. You can see some trucks passing by. This is a view from a southern point right now, and I remember coming in here back in 2006 after my daughter was born. She was in a buggy, and it happened that the door was open, the gate was open, and so my wife and I and my daughter, well, she had no other choice, we walked in and I pushed the buggy around here. The buildings were still there. I do remember them fairly well. It only took a few minutes, and then the police, German police, escorted us back out. That was a funny experience. And then the gates were locked again. Now if you look to the back over here where you can see the pine trees, there used to be a fence around this whole area. They took the fence off, as I said, a few weeks ago. So it's publicly accessible right now. That barn that used to be here, that was not a very pretty building. Let me tell you that much, but it was home and office to a lot of very nice people. Right now we're next to the A5 Autobahn, and just across from the Autobahn you can see the airport area. I guess I was kind of hoping to find something historic here today when I set out on this tour, but there's not much left. Just some blocks of concrete and some old wiring. If you look at that traffic sign there in the back where it says Neu-Isenburg, Zeppelinheim, Dreieich, Cargo City South, there used to be a traffic sign which said US Air Base. That's long gone. But whenever I see those old traffic signs somewhere, you know, in a YouTube film or in on a picture, it really strongly reminds me of what an integral part this base was here for the Rhein Main area. Well, finally found something historic. Old soccer ball. We are the champions. And now look at that, I'm pretty lucky here, because in fact I did find something very historic, a very historic can of beer. Actually, I believe I'm at a point where some of these barbecue places used to be, and there's a few bottles around here and a Coke can, but this one looks historic because, as you can see, it is a pretty old design, and if you look at the top of the can, you can also see that the opener, those openers, you know, that you could completely remove, I mean, those are gone so many years, so that could be a leftover of a barbecue here. Miracle Whip. Okay, now this is really amazing. This is a US can of Pepsi Cola. It contains carbonated water. Everything is in English. You can also see the old opener here. It's kind of cool. And this is like, you know, a few meters from the driveway here. It's kind of cool that this is still here. Can of Heineken. And now for sure that's the best part. Old plane in the tree.